Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, real quick question because I'm just curious. Now, we live in the mountains over here in California. Is anybody else out there having like I don't know what to call them, like gnats? Are you guys having like an infestation of gnats? I see in one state they're having issues with, looks like crickets. You had another that had this infestation of mosquitoes. But over here in California, it's like we got gnats everywhere. They're irritating as hell. And I'm just wondering how many of you are dealing with oddball stuff like this. Anyways, let's get back to Iraq, find out what is going on, and should we be excited about anything? Let's check it out. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold, silver, or any other precious metals, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description, or just type in www.moneymetals.com/Pimpy. If you make a purchase when you follow that link, you will automatically be entered for a chance to win 10 free silver ounces. So get started today, and hopefully your stack will start to look like this real soon. So head on over, tell them Pimpy sent you. You can follow me over on other platforms. I do have my own group over on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. So head on over here and join us. It's free to do so. In here, I do post updates. If I should get on suspension from YouTube or get removed from YouTube and you want to know what happened to me, I'll let you know right here in this group. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and the cool thing about YouTube, if you come over here and you join and you find my channel, I got videos going back, I believe, a couple years. So if you want to see some older videos that I have on Nasera, Jacera, gold, silver, cryptos, come on over here and join. Look me up and check out my videos. You can also find me on Odyssey. Catch me on Rumble. When I say that the links for all these are down below in the description, some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's real simple. Just go down to the bottom right here of any of my videos. See this? This is the description. Hit show more. And there are all the links to all the platforms I just spoke about. So if you do want to head on over to Money Metals, just click it. And there you are. So come on over. Join us. I look forward to having you. Alrighty, let's go. Kurdistan Finance announces Baghdad's approval to send 400 billion dinars to it. So it looks like Kurdistan's about to get some money that they're well past due of having. This is to pay off salaries, plus it's their portion of the budget. Erdogan to visit Baghdad and discuss resumption of oil exports. You know, again, this is an issue because Turkey was bombing Kurdistan within Iraq. And truthfully, that's an act of war. They're claiming they were bombing terrorists. It's a real sticky situation. What's even weirder is the fact that Kurdistan was actually sending Turkey oil when they're bombing you inside of Iraq. You know, go figure. Anyways, I said a member of the Kurdistan Democratic Party, which is the KDP of who they try to kill, Turkey I'm talking about, revealed an upcoming visit by Turkish President Erdogan to Baghdad next week to discuss the issue of resuming oil exports. Karim said that in a statement followed by the news that Turkey has set 3 basic points for the re-export of oil through the port of Ceyhan, but the Iraqi government did not approve them during the last meeting held in Ankara. He added that the oil problem is no longer in the hands of the Kurdistan government and the files has completely shifted into the hands of the federal government, specifically SOMO, noting that Turkish President Erdogan will visit the Iraqi capital of Baghdad and the capital of the Kurdistan region, Erbil, next week to resolve the issue of exporting the region's oil again. This should be interesting. Parliamentary Finance reveals the date of finance ministries with the amounts of the budget due for the past months. Well, now that the budget has been signed into law by the president, I would imagine the first thing they want to do is pay any and all past due bills, which would include salaries for people who did not receive a paycheck, which still to this day blows my mind that there are people within Iraq that will work without getting paid for a long period of time, especially the farmers. So Thursday, the Parliamentary Finance Committee set the date for the start of funding ministry's budget amounts due for the past months, while indicating the trend to adopt an electronic system to complete the procedures of the final accounts. Now, not all people obviously go without a paycheck. What happens is if they don't get a new budget passed, then they continue along the same path as the budget from the year before, and they just do it month by month is what happens. Committee member Mustafa told the official agency that the instructions for implementing the budget will be issued after the Ida Allah, as the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Finance prepare the draft of the instructions that may need amendments after adding articles to the budget by the House of Representatives, pointing out that the issuance of the instructions for financing and implementing the budget will be ready after the holiday and circulated all government departments and ministries. So what it boils down to is they're all going to receive instructions on how to allocate out the money to those people that the money is due to. Oh man, I forgot all about Al-Qadimi here for just a minute. I thought this guy was in the scot-free, but I should know better. They're attacking their political opponents. Injunction to seize Al-Qadimi's money. A source familiar with the matter revealed on Thursday that a judicial order has been issued to seize the funds of former Prime Minister Al-Qadimi. A source told the news a judicial order was issued to seize the money transmitted and immovable to Al-Qadimi after monitoring the presence of financial inflation in it. He pointed out that the judicial investigations are ongoing, pointing out that no arrest warrants or travel bans have been issued against Al-Qadimi until the moment. Hang tight, Al-Qadimi. I think he was a good guy. I might be wrong, but I thought he did a wonderful job while he was in office, considering all the constraints that was put on him. Well, now this article is ironic. Maliki and the U.S. ambassador discussed political developments and the completion of these reconstruction process. Of course, I know Maliki is anxious to get the money from the United States to help with the reconstruction. Go figure. Says the State of Law Coalition, Maliki received in his office the ambassador of the United States. During the meeting, according to the statement by Maliki's office received by the news, the discussion discussed political and security developments in the country and the region, as well as cooperation between the two countries in a way that enhances the bonds of work and coordination at the political, economic, and cultural levels to serve the common interests of the two friendly peoples. How come they're only serving two friendly peoples? Just kidding. Maliki pointed out that Iraq is preparing to complete the reconstruction process, especially after the adoption of the federal budget, stressing the need for everyone's efforts to consolidate political and economic stability in the country according to the comprehensive vision and focus on priority projects, especially health, housing, and basic services, and support investment and the entry of foreign companies, especially the American, according to what was approved by the Strategic Frameworks Agreement concluded between Baghdad and Washington. Now, in case you haven't ever noticed, whenever Baghdad prepares a budget, they literally have to ask for permission from the United States. We'll touch on that here in just a moment. He stressed the need for the ambassador of Iraqi United States of America to exert efforts in strengthening and developing relations and establish bilateral cooperation in accordance with the principle of mutual respect and common interest. In turn, the U.S. ambassador affirmed her country's commitment to the Iraqi people and the Iraqi government, praising Maliki's role in developing relations between Iraq and the United States of America because of his influential presence in the state and Iraqi political scene. People have asked me about this article here. It says the budget law reaches justice and publishes it in the official Gazette next week. Well, the Gazette is like the official record keepers of Iraq. The Gazette is usually responsible for keeping a copy of all the information and records as time goes on, pretty much is what it is. Have a discussion with people and they go, Pimpy, what the heck is going on? What is the holdup? I thought Iraq, once they got out of Chapter 7, we would start seeing an increase in the Iraqi Dinar exchange rate. Nothing's changing. The fact that they're not on the Forex, what does this all mean? Look, Iraq has been trying to get on track now for a long time. So when people go, well, they've been punished for 20 years, Iraq has had enough, the United States to let them go. What people don't understand is it's not the United States that's punishing Iraq. It's the corruption within the government that holds them back from being a lot more successful than they are. Every time inspectors come in, have meetings, do what they need to do, they find out information about this corrupt government, and it sets them back. I shouldn't say this government, but prior governments. How about that? If you really want to get into the nuts and bolts of things, all you really got to do is just look at all the sanctions and any of the executive orders that still apply to Iraq. An overview of Iraq stabilization and insurgency sanctions or regulations. So this is from 2010, but this is just renewed, by the way. But if you go through here and you see all these sanctions, this thing gives you a quick summary. It tells you what it was that Iraq did and all the executive orders that apply. And I could put it in a nutshell here, but just let me show you some of them. Blocking of property. So this is any and all property that Iraq owns, as well as certain individuals that are on the sanctions list. What the United States is saying is we now take control of the property on behalf of the Iraqi people. Unblocking of certain blocked properties. There are individuals out there who recently had the sanctions removed from them. So any and all properties that they had that the United States was controlling have now been returned. But this is the biggest portion of the sanctions. As you go through and you read the details, most all of the details are all about exporting and importing of Iraq. So the punishment for Iraq is nobody and no companies within the United States is allowed to export into Iraq without a license. They need permission from the government. Just like Iraq wanting to export things out of Iraq, they have to go through the United States, get licenses, and get permission. This is the big holdup. If you try to go through and read executive order after executive order, you're going to go insane. There's a lot of mumbly-jumbly in there pertaining to the law, and it points out all the different articles of the law and how we, the United States, have a reason to do this and permission to do this, which is put these types of sanctions and restrictions on Iraq because we consider Iraq a security risk to people around the world and especially the United States. Still, to this day, they do. Joe Biden just recently renewed that executive order, about a month ago? So we still have sanctions on certain individuals in Iraq, but we have executive orders against the Iraqi government and the Iraqi people that are pertaining to the exports and imports. They need permission from us before they could do these things. And that's why, like I said before, whenever a budget's passed, our delegation goes over there and they go over it, what is okay and what is not okay to be in the budget and other projects that they could be working on. So as soon as Iraq can get out of the grip of the United States, I think they'll flourish a lot better than they are now. Anyways, that's it for now. I look forward to your comments, and I'll get at you later. I'm out.